What's up guys, I'm back with another video. I know it's been a few months since the last time that I uploaded, but a lot has happened since then. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a quick video to kind of let you guys know. The main thing is I moved shops. So right now I'm standing right in front of my new stall. Let me show you guys what it looks like. So I have space for 2 cars here. That's my toolbox right there. This is my mobile tool cart right here. My little body filler areas here. This is just a random table that was sitting here, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Kind of has random stuff in it. Over here there's some more racks for me to put parts on, and this is a car that I just did a tear down on. There is a lift here that I can use, however it's at a weird angle. I'll show you guys in a bit what I mean by that, but yeah, there's a little bumper rack here, there's a bathroom there, and more storage back here. So yeah, I'm still working for the same company. It's just a different location. It's closer to home, and yeah. With me, there's 5 body techs in this shop now. I'll probably give you guys a tour of the rest of the shop in the future, but yeah, this is kind of like my little area. And then I just got this one. So yeah, about to tear that one down. I noticed that you guys left a lot of comments on the last video. I am gonna answer all of your questions in this video, so just stick around. We're gonna R9 the front bumper. R9 this light. You want to repair this fender. Replace the fender liner. And that's it. So we're not blending the door because it's all the way up front. And we'll see what else is under that bumper. We'll take it off. Okay, so pretty much that's the teardown. Pretty simple. Now I just gotta wait for the bumper to come in, and a little turn signal light that broke. But yeah, overall for this job, it's about 9 hours. It's about 9 hours. It might change a little bit, so we'll see once I get the revised sheet. But that's kind of where we're at right now. 9 hours, just because I do have to repair that fender and make sure if it's good with the bumper and the light, because it wasn't fitting right, but it shouldn't be that bad. So next I got this Model Y. Yeah, one of the reasons that I haven't posted in a while is because I moved to the shop, and they work on a lot of Teslas here. I would say like 60-70% of the cars that come in here are Teslas. And so I had to get Tesla certified. So I was taking a bunch of classes, and they're not hard. They're not hard, but they are kind of like time consuming, because it's all online, and it's just a bunch of procedures and safety measures, and just you're dealing with high voltage, so they just want to make sure that you're not going to kill yourself. But overall, they're pretty easy to work on. Once I start getting into the more like structural repairs, I'll definitely make a video about it. I've done one so far. It was just like an A-pillar outer skin. The door got smashed thing. We changed the hinges, did that. It was pretty simple, but there's like crazy repairs that are done here, as far as like how in depth we have to go, because it's just really different once you start getting into the high strength steel and the structural components. The way that you go about the repair is very different than how you would in your typical regular car. But yeah. Alright, so I want to say thanks to everyone that commented on the last video. I was actually surprised of how many people commented, and just how many views that video has gotten so far. I kind of just posted it and then forgot about it, but a couple months ago I saw that people had been commenting on it and watching it, so I want to thank everybody for that. And a lot of people were asking questions too on the comments, so I'm just on my phone right now reading them. So Drummer769 says, I'm just getting in the industry. Can you make a video about talking about commission pay? How does that work? I can make a in-depth video in the future for sure. But I can just give a pretty simple explanation right now. So basically, right now I have this work order, let's go with these two orders. So I got this car, right? It's a Tesla Model Y, white, and it's basically just a bumper job, right? So the way they break it down on the estimate is you get 2.5 hours to overhaul the front bumper. You get 1.2 hours to remove the front storage component and put it back in. That's the Teslas have that frunk, so you need to take that off in order to access the bolts that hold the bumper on. And then you get 0.5 for each wheel opening molding, right? So if you add all of that time up, it gives you 4.7. So that's down there, 4.7, right? So let's say I get this job today, and then I have this other job. This one's a Mazda CX-5, right? This one's a little bit more an in-depth work order, because we had to paint the front door, the rear door. We did a repair on the quarter panel. We took off the quarter panel glass. We did some repairs on the lift gate, and so again, each one of those assignments, or each one of those lines on the estimate, has a certain amount of hours, right? So once you tally it all up, all the R&I, you get 22.3 hours, right? So let's add those up. 22.3 plus 4.7. So 27 hours, right? So if I come on a Monday, I get these 2 work orders, right? I tear the cars down, send them to paint. The cars get painted. I put them back together that same day. At the end of my day, the amount of completed hours that I will have is 27, right? Even though maybe I was just at the shop for 10 hours, right? So if I was at the shop for 10 hours, but I still produce 27 hours, right? I'm still gonna get paid those 27 hours, right? So, you know, if you were at an hourly shop where they pay you, let's just say $30 an hour, you work your 10 hours that day, and you would only get $300, right? But if you work at a commission shop, you wouldn't get paid by the hours that you were at the shop. You would get paid by how many hours you produced that day. So in this hypothetical, if we finish these 2 work orders, you would get paid 27 hours at your flat rate hour, which let's assume it's also $30, then you would make about 810. So that's kind of like the difference, you know. Now obviously, if you've always worked hourly, it's kind of like hard to get that concept, but essentially you're kind of like your own contractor, as far as like you kind of charge, or you get paid per job, and then it's up to you. If, you know, on this Mazda that's 22 hours, sure, I could take 22 hours to do it, right? Because that's how much time I'm getting paid to do it. But if you have experience, if you are quick at doing R&I, if you're quick at doing your body filler, if you're quick at getting it all to paint, you're good at keeping track of your parts, not breaking parts when you take cars apart, like all that kind of stuff helps you be more productive, and at the end of the day you make more money because of that. So let me show you guys one more thing. So when you work commission, you also get a flag sheet, right? So it's kind of like a breakdown of what we just talked about. So obviously some cars you can't finish them in a week. You know, if you get it on Monday, you can't always get it out by Friday because you're waiting on parts, whatever. But you can kind of like at the end of the week charge for, let's say the car's already in paint, but you have to still put it back together on the next week. You could still get some hours from that job to complete your paycheck. So like that Mazda, 22 hours, let's say it's already in paint, but I'm not gonna have time to put it back together. I could still tell my manager, hey, like let me get 15 hours on this paycheck, and then the remaining hours for that job, I'll just cash them out next week. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But yeah, a commission is good if you have somewhat of like, just if you have some experience, you know, if you've been doing this for, I don't know, I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. Everybody learns at a different pace, but I would say if you're like 2-3 years into it, you're probably like already pretty familiar with what you're doing, and yeah, it's just a matter of putting in the work, and I think it does motivate you to become more efficient and just an overall better technician. Let's keep going here with the comments. Toolbox tour. I will be doing a toolbox tour, so that'll be a separate video. Okay, Social Reject Human said, post more. I'm learning a lot from you. I start school for this soon. That's good. School is good. Definitely very useful. Blueprint 6569 said, definitely post more, bro. Not too many authentic auto body tech content out there. Keep it up. Thank you, bro. Benson Porter 1384 said, I need to upgrade to some Snap-on tools. You got some skills, bro, and you could work too. Thank you, bro. Lucas _ EME said, hey, bro, nice to meet you. Are you an auto body collision tech and musician? Wow, what a coincidence, because I am too. So yes, I am also a musician. It's been my hobby for a long time, like making music. So that's cool. That's cool that you also do that. Acrylic Chris said, I think you have good camera work. Love the video. Tools are also interesting. So yeah, I definitely want to talk more about tools, because I love talking about tools and buying tools. Pedro David Maya said, more videos. I started this trade not too long ago and I enjoyed the video, bro. Thank you, sir. Yo, that sander has a vacuum. What? No mess. Yes, so the Festool vacuum, game changer. I mean, it's good because you don't make a mess, you don't have dust all over the place. Yeah, it's great. Okay, Xan use _BRC, I think that's how you say it. They say, how can someone who is interested in getting into the industry get their foot in the door? I've applied as painter helper in the TAP Caliber Collision program so far. I'm just looking for some advice. Thanks. Okay, so, and then somebody commented under their comment, I started off as a detailer, then got into the TAP program as a detailer. You need to let them know you're interested in body paint work. Prove yourself as a detailer first. Yeah, so if you want to get into the industry, most body shops, especially collision shops, there's kind of like 3 routes that you can go as like an actual career. So you can obviously go the paint route, become a prepper and then a painter. You could become a body tech apprentice and then eventually be on your own and become a journeyman. Or you could become an estimator, junior estimator, and then eventually you could also be a manager, right? Now, those are kind of like the more typical ways to go about it. I can only really speak on my experience as a body tech. The way that I did it, I went to school. So where I live, there's a community college called Contra Costa College, where they have a auto collision program, and it's I believe it's 4 semesters, right? And they teach you everything. They teach you estimating, they teach you paint, they teach you body work, they teach you some like mechanical work like AC systems and just stuff that you do in the collision world, right? Now, I when I graduated high school, I went to that program, and while I was in that program, I had a part-time job. It's not a bad idea to go to a program like that and then work part-time at a body shop. Like, I wish I would have done that. That would have been the ideal scenario, like work at a body shop part-time as like a detailer or a porter. But a lot of body shops, they want you there full-time, so it's not always feasible. I worked at a pizza place, while I was in school, and then once I finished school, literally the same like day that I graduated, the following week I already had a job lined up. Like, I didn't really even have to look for a job, because it was multiple collision companies would go to the school and just like offer you a job. So that's the cool thing about going to school is that you learn, you make friends that have similar interests as you, and when you finish school, like boom, like you already have a job. Obviously, you're gonna start off as like a journeyman, like as someone's like helper. Where was I? Yeah, so that's the cool thing about going to school, that you start off, like you don't have to start off detailing cars or doing any of those tasks that you like. There's nothing wrong with doing them, obviously, but that might not be what you want to do. You start off like under a journeyman as their helper, because even though you went to school, like obviously you're not gonna get thrown into doing like structural stuff right away, right? You have to still be under somebody's wing, and they're gonna teach you the ropes. And as long as you put in the work, have a good attitude. Like I was with my journeyman a year, and then after that I went and I was on my own, and I've never been like anybody's helper since then. There's guys that are helpers for longer. Like I knew a guy that had been a helper for like 7 years, but that's just because he didn't have the confidence to go on his own. Again, everybody's different. I know guys that have been helpers for 2 years, 3 years, and then they go on their own and they're hella good, you know. So everybody's different, but that's the way I did it, and that's really all I can speak for. I've known guys that have started off as detailers and then moved on to, you know, being a helper or something like that, and it is possible. You just have to have really good work ethic, and to be honest, you just have to be lucky. Like you have to be in a shop where people that work there are nice and willing to help you out. I've been to shops where the dudes that work there, they're just there to make money. They don't have any interest in teaching anybody. And I've been in shops where the dudes that work there, like they like to teach. So it's kind of like really hard to say that you're gonna go into a shop and it's gonna go a certain way. Sometimes you have to look around. But what I will say is, no matter where you go, if you're gonna start off as like a detailer, definitely don't stay as a detailer for too long, because if you do, then it's gonna make it harder for them to want to promote you, just because if you're a good ass detailer, like detailers are also hard to get. So like sometimes, you know, managers, you know, they're thinking about the sales, about the profit, and they don't always have that best interest in mind. Hope this video isn't too patchy. I keep getting interrupted, but yeah, school. I'm all for school. Also, like most community colleges, if they have a program like that, like it's not too expensive to go to. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Okay, next comment by Digging Dirt. My first day as an apprentice is on the 22nd. I've been deep diving into videos within the field and came across yours. Thank you, I enjoyed it and look forward to seeing more. Alright, that's good to hear. Good to hear. I'm looking kind of for more questions from you guys. Good video, bro. How many hours did they give you for that fender repair? I think you're talking about the repair on that Nissan that I posted. Damn, I can't remember. It's been a long time. Usually with fender repairs, you kind of have to look at the price of a new fender, right? So depending on the car, if it's a really cheap economical car, fenders you know, you probably get a used one or an aftermarket one for like 200 bucks. So realistically, you would only get like 2 hours to fix a fender, right? Now, if the fender is worth $500, then you can get more like 4 hours. If the fender is worth, you know, 600 bucks, then you get closer to like 6 hours. So you always want to check in with your parts person or your estimator, see how much that fender is worth, and see if instead of replacing it, it's better to just fix it, because you do make more profit off of repairing parts than simply replacing them. But again, the cost of the fender is gonna determine whether it's a good decision to fix it or not. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as the questions go for on that video. Just wanted to post this, kind of say like I hear you guys out, and I appreciate all the positive comments. I will be working on a new video, like another week in the life of video. I just, you know, kind of wanted to give you guys an update that I'm in a new shop now. I've been taking a lot more training and stuff like that, so that's been keeping me pretty busy. But hopefully now we're kind of like back to a more constant rhythm here at the shop. So anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Peace.